Hey y'all, it's Camryn. In the 27 years since the publication of our textbook, there have been many advancements in the economy of the state of West Virginia. From the booming coal mining industry to the illustrious timber industry, many important events and improvements have been made and have changed the state's economy. The economy has faced many hardships and economic downfall. Through all this, it has survived. This presentation will mainly focus on the war on coal, the labor unions, fracking, and the timber industry, and various economic recessions. Coal mining is one of West Virginia's leading industries. The state's economy heavily relies on the coal industry. In recent years, however, the industry has taken a huge hit due to natural gas competition, a weak demand from the Chinese, and pollution controls set by the U.S. government. The government controls have been dubbed a war on coal. The industry once employed over 125,000 people. That number has decreased to somewhere between 20,000 and 30,000 people due to the rise of natural gas. Coal has been found in 53 of the 55 states. 55 counties. Jefferson and Hardy counties are the only two counties where coal is not found. It is mined in 28 counties. McDowell County produces more coal annually than any other county in West Virginia. The West Virginia coal industry has created 30,000 jobs. These jobs include miners, mine contractors, coal preparation plant employees, and mine supply companies. In 2009, 87 million tons of coal was produced in underground mines. Surface mines produced nearly 60 million tons of coal annually. Mountaintop mining produced 43 million tons in 2009, and altogether, in 2009, over 144 million tons of coal was produced in West Virginia mines. The state is the leading state in underground coal production, followed closely by neighboring state Kentucky. The coal industry accounts for roughly two-thirds of business taxes paid. Annually, the coal industry pays $70 million in property taxes. The coal severance tax adds $214 million into the state's economy. Of these taxes, $24 million goes into the Infrastructure Bond Fund each year. Every county receives coal severance tax funds, regardless of if they produce coal or not. The coal industry spends around $2 billion each year in paying its employees. More than half of the electricity produced in the United States is powered by coal. 99% of the electricity comes from coal in West Virginia. Coal powers most of the energy in 32 different states. A major concern around the practice of coal mining is the safety of it. There are typically less than 20 fatal accidents a year. 1991, 2006, and 2010 are the only years where there have been more than 20 accidents. The lowest number of fatal accidents recorded was 3 in 2009. To try to prevent the occurrence of an accident, mines were inspected. In 2009 alone, over 5,900 inspections were conducted. This could have led to the lowest number reported as well. Despite being the leading industry, the West Virginia coal industry has taken a huge hit in recent years. The production cost of mining has increased dramatically, causing many mines to shut down. Increased costs have caused West Virginia coal to become less competitive. Active mines that produce coal has decreased significantly by more than 53%. In 2008, the number of active mines was 259. As of 2015, there have been 121 active mines. Employment in the mines has also gone down. It has decreased by at least 4,000 jobs, altogether a decline of 19%. Since 2011, $300 million has been lost in direct mining wages. Significant tax revenues have been lost as well. Coal severance taxes have declined by 24% in a short 2-year span. The Coal Jobs and Safety Act was passed to encourage the recovery of West Virginia coal industry. This legislation increases employment opportunities. Unfortunately, this legislation did roll back safety regulations in the mines. The bill was highly controversial and was criticized by many miners. Labor unions have played a huge role in West Virginia's economy. Labor unions were formed to protect the rights of workers in West Virginia. When employers infringed on the rights of workers, unions suggested that workers would go on strike. In 1989, the Presentstion Company decided to stop providing health care to retired employees. As a result, 1,700 members went on strike. This quickly turned into an act of civil disobedience. Actions of this strike were inspired by the civil rights protesters in the 1960s. 10,000 coal miners staged a walkout after union leaders were jailed in 1990 for violating a mass picketing ban. Union leaders encouraged miners to go back to work. Many workers still refused to go back to work. The union eventually won and ensured workers that they would get a new contract that guaranteed health and retirement benefits. Later, Congress passed mandates that all mine workers received such benefits. Labor unions protected more than just coal miners. Labor unions also protected teachers as well as librarians. In 1990, teachers and librarians went on strike across the state. This included teachers from 47 out of 55 counties. West Virginia teachers were the second lowest paid in the country. The state offered to raise their pay by 5%. This was rejected by the West Virginia teachers. After 12 days on strike, the teachers and government reached an agreement. The teachers would get a pay raise. They would also get training and support programs, as well as the forming of faculty senates. As of 2016, pay was the fourth lowest in the country. And then in February 2018, teachers across the state went on strike again, as inspired by the 1990 teachers' strike. This came a day after West Virginia Governor Jim Justice signed legislation that gave school employees a 2% raise. Teachers decided that this wasn't enough. After more than 2 weeks of protesting, teachers were given a 5% pay raise. A practice in West Virginia is fracking. Fracking is short for hydraulic fracturing. It is a process that involves injecting frac fluid, which is a mixture of water, sand, and chemicals, at high pressure into shale to fracture a rock. This releases natural gas. Marcellus Shale is a layer of rock and is a target of fracking in West Virginia. Shale is very abundant in the state of West Virginia. Fluid is found in the well after fracking is done. This is called wastewater. Only 10 to 40% of this fluid is recovered. The water contains minerals, salts, and other materials. 426 Marcellus wells were drilled in West Virginia in 2009, and then 438 were drilled in 2010. Fracking brings in a lot of money and has had a significant impact on West Virginia's economy. Fracking bans have also been proposed by environmentalists. It has been determined, however, that any fracking bans would be catastrophic to the state's economy. One of West Virginia's oldest industries is the timber industry. West Virginia has many trees. It is the third most forested state in the United States. There are 30,000 jobs in this industry alone. It also brings in $3 billion a year in the state of West Virginia. It also helps that it is a naturally regenerating industry. There are many things that can be made out of wood. There are companies all over the state that benefit from the timber industry. There was a decline in the industry due to the recession in 2008. But with the improvement of the housing market, it has started to increase. The Great Recession of 2008 impacted West Virginia's economy significantly. Between 2008 and 2010, 32,400 jobs were lost. Since then, over 11,600 jobs have been added. Construction lost 7,800 jobs. This is one of the highest of all industries. Many manufacturing jobs, which made up for 22%, were also lost. The state was able to recover and thousands of jobs were created. Unfortunately, not all jobs that were lost during the recession came back. West Virginia is rich in its economic resources. The coal industry makes up for a good majority of the state's economy. It is one of the most resourceful industries as well. The industry would not be able to operate without its workers that are protected by the labor unions. The labor unions play a huge role in protecting the workers. Besides coal, fracking brings in a large revenue as well as timber. The economy would be a lot different without these resources. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation.